Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana is. In this video, I want us to have a look at some remarks made by former IBC boss James Oswago. Oswago oversaw the 2013 elections as IEBC CEO. About 2 days ago, he made some remarks insinuating that there might have been some riggings in the presidential elections in 2013. And I feel that's worth analyzing and discussing here because it gives us a rough overview of what normally happens during these presidential elections, and more so in 2007, 2013, 2017, and in 2022 August elections. And that's equally important because some Kenyans, they think that these election riggings are just stories being cooked. Before digging deep into that analysis, if you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes, Oswago's remarks have been going viral in some mainstream media houses and even in some online pages. Newspapers. Ex-IEBC boss James Oswago claimed the disputed 2013 polls had all indications of a rigged election. Oswago said there was a high probability that excess ballot papers were printed by unnamed people and distributed to given polling stations. He observed that while technology failure is normal, the pattern of the failure in 2013 raised serious chances of rigging. Yes. And for those who listen to Oswago, he was saying that there is a very high possibility that in 2013, extra ballot papers were printed and given to various polling stations. And you can just see clearly that it might be possible that those polling stations belonged to the strongholds of the candidates, or rather of the candidate who won, who was declared the winner by IEBC in 2013. And that's also a very interesting point to note, because also in 2022, we saw some extra ballot papers were printed by IEBC. And if you again look at what happened during the elections, these are things Kenyans will still be talking till Jesus comes back. If you look at what happened in the August elections, turnout that came from the mountain, in fact, Chebukati, let me put it this way, Chebukati himself, as the IBC chair, was not even sure of the turnout. The turnout kept on changing. At one point, we were being told turnout on the mountain was below 50%. All of a sudden, we are being told it was over 60%. And generally, the national turnout kept on changing. And if you look at August elections, personally, I still maintain and I believe that that was a rigged election. And the mere fact that even the commissioners who oversaw the election, who were part of the election, disputed the election, that was reason enough for that election to be nullified. But all in all, the Supreme Court, all the Supreme Court justices upheld that election. An election that came out clearly as an election that was rigged. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans are where they are because of a flawed electoral process. I personally believe that when a leader is sworn in office, when that leader knows pretty well he was not elected by the people, that leader in most occasions does not care whether the people, or rather does not care whether the people are suffering or not. If you look at what is happening in William Ruto's government, it's almost very certain and very clear William Ruto does not care whether the people are suffering or not. I listened to William Ruto some hours ago in a live interview, and he was saying that for the time he has been in power, or rather in government, as the president, maize flour prices, maize flour price has come from 230 to 190. The same William Ruto, when he was campaigning, he was promising that immediately was to be sworn in, maize flour price was to retail at 70 Kenya shillings per 2 kg pack. Now he's talking of 190. So you are seeing it clearly that this is a president who does not care whether he's lying to Kenyans or not. After all, he knows that maybe the people never made him the president. So a flawed electoral process can actually give a people leaders who do not care. And it's very clear that this government does not care about the common man. In fact, this is a government just perpetuating tribalism and bad ethnicity, going by the kind of pronouncements we have been hearing coming from top government leaders, including Rigathi Gachagua. So it's a fact that 2022 presidential elections, the August elections, might have been rigged. And I'm stressing on that because some Kenyans always think that these are just cooked stories. It might be possible the election was actually rigged. And from the way Oswago was speaking, Oswago actually oversaw that election and is making it very clear that these riggings are normally influenced by some external forces outside of outside of IEBC. So they actually use IEBC officials to do the riggings. In 2022, we've actually heard that the international community, some influential big brothers outside, might have influenced the riggings that took place within IEBC. And it might also be possible that there might have also been some senior government officials in Uhuru Kenyatta's government who were actually also part of the plot. But all in all, that has led Kenya to where Kenya is. For Kenya to move forward, then our electoral process has to be right. As long as our electoral process is flawed, Kenya will be having leaders who do not care. Leaders who promises heaven, but upon being sworn in, they do the exact opposite of what they were, or rather of what they promised. That's something Kenyans should and must be prepared to deal with. As long as the electoral process is not right, Kenya will always get wrong leaders. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. If you want to support us here, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.